In this lesson, we're going to unwrap the cylinder. Alright, so let's jump right in by unwrapping the cylinder here. Let's go ahead and isolate the selection. And let's go to our materials and let's apply our UV material to that. And then let's go ahead and start unwrapping. So add the unwrap UVW modifier to it. Open the UV editor. And let's bring this over so we can see that. And let's get started. So first thing is first, let's go ahead and just select everything in our cylinder. And I'm going to go ahead and just flatten mapping on everything. So select the whole thing, mapping, flatten mapping, hit OK. That'll break it down into more manageable groups, and you can see that does a pretty good job overall. A couple of things that I would want to take care of, like the cylindrical shape around the spindle and things like that. So you can see that we have this edge here. Let's go in and let's just start stitching that together. So turn that off. Let's just go to edge mode and stitch and continue until we go all the way around for that. And that should be it for the spindle there. We'll leave that just the way it is. Let's go ahead and move on to our next parts here. Everything else should be flattened out pretty well. There's this here. Let's take a look and see what this is exactly. Let's see. Okay. So this edge, it's going to be on the inside here. So we'll go ahead and we'll stitch that, and we'll do the next one. We'll stitch it, and that should be it there. Oh, there's one more. Okay, there's that. And then we'll come up here. Let's grab like this one here, stitch that. It doesn't matter which one we stitch first, just as long as we stitched it. Move that there. Move this one over as well. Go back to edge mode, and we'll stitch that. Okay, that one's good. Take this one here, and we'll just do this all the way around. Okay, making sure we get all of those. On the inside, we're never going to see that anyway, so we might as well just go ahead and stitch where we can. We don't need to worry about the placement of the seam that goes right down the middle of that. Okay, and we should have just one more to do here. All right, so there's all of that. Let's go ahead and take those. Just bring them off to the side here. I was going to take this one out of here. Okay, so that looks good. Then we have the cylinder. The cylinder is going to go all the way around. A couple of things that we'll want to remember, though, is our smoothing groups on this. So we can actually go ahead and select by smoothing group 1. You can see all of those. With these, I'm going to go ahead and right-click and break all of those. So that way they are separated from anything else on that. And so then I'm going to go to smoothing group 2. Okay, there's that. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and go to smoothing group 3, because what I want to get are these pieces right here. I want all of these to be separated out because they are on their own smoothing group. And so we need to make sure that they have their own seam going around the edge. So with that, I'm going to right click, I'm going to break those off of there, and I'm going to move these out away, and I'm going to work on these separately. So to do this, what we'll do is we'll just select all the polygons that are on the inside of that, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll just make planar, and then we're going to, for this one, let's make planar in the X direction. That looks fine. Then we can scale it down. Because we have so few polygons on this, we may be able to just go ahead and relax that by polygon angles. And that one looks, yeah, I don't really like the way that skewed that one edge there. So let's go ahead and scale it in the vertical direction. Turn off your planar map there. Scale that down, just try to get the checker pattern as square as possible. Then go ahead and do a relax on it. And, oh man, it's kind of hard. I think I'm not going to use the relax on these parts. I don't really trust it to take care of that edge as much as it should. And so we'll just go through, do the same thing here on these. Now on these ones that are at an angle, let's go ahead and do planar, but then just do best align on that. You'll see that it tries to go off in this weird direction. Let's do Z on that, and then grab our rotation tool and just rotate that until it's in line with what we have, and then we'll fit that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll skew that, or scale it in the horizontal direction, something like this. Try to get that as square as possible. Okay. Going on to the next one. And it's just going to be the same process, okay, all the way around for that. So then we'll do planar. Let's use the Z direction on this one. And let's see, did we get all? Yeah, we did. So then we're going to rotate this one. Rotate it to where it's at least close to that, and then we'll go ahead and hit fit on that. And then we'll scale that in the horizontal direction, turn off planar map. Okay, taking a look here, just trying to make sure that we get those squares square as possible. Don't have to be exact, just get close. And then we've got the last couple ones here. And planar, let's do the X direction. That one should be good. Scale that in the vertical. And I'm holding down on that and then selecting the right one there. So just in case you were confused about that. Scale that down. Take a look at our checker pattern. Okay. And then grab your move tool, pull that up here. And then the last two here. Okay, great. So now we've got those. Just doing a quick check, make sure I didn't select anything on the back side of that. And make planar, let's do Z. And grab our rotation tool, we'll rotate that to where it's flat with that surface, and we'll hit fit. Scale that along the horizontal. Turn off planar. And then grab your move tool, pull that up here. And then last one for this one. And then make planar Z. Oops, we accidentally grabbed one by accident. Didn't want those, so hold down Control or Alt and deselect those. Turn off that planar projection. Let's go ahead and deselect those. With just these selected, let's try planar again. Let's do X. Or actually, let's do Z on that, and then we'll rotate it. And then fit. And then we'll scale that in the horizontal direction. Turn off your planar map projection. Okay. And there we go. All right, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and move this up out of the way. There we go. Got a couple of pieces here. I'm not really sure what those are. Oh, I see there. That'll fix itself here in just a moment. All right, so now we have this guy, which is along the front. That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and move it out of the way so that way we're not messing with these. And then we've got these pieces here, which all need to be stitched together. So double click on this edge. And we'll stitch that. Double click on this edge, stitch that. Double click here, stitch. Click once there, stitch that. Oops, that goes to the other side. So now we have the cylinder all laid out just the way it is, nice and neat, looking good. And then we have a couple of pieces here and there that need to be dealt with. So let's take a look at those, figure out what those go to. So I'm looking here, that goes on the back side there. That looks okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take care of it here. And I'm going to go to edge mode. I'm going to just select this edge here. Stitch that. And whoops, let's move this out of the way. And we'll stitch this one and stitch that one. So all of those go together, okay? And that's basically this little strip right around the edge here, okay? So what we want to do is go ahead and select these polygons. So let's go ahead and select these. And then I'm also going to select these right here. And with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use Make Planar, but in the X, do Z direction there. Nope, Y, sorry. And with that, it's going to bring that out, and then we'll just simply do a relax on it. Relax that out, and that'll give us this nice shape here. Let's go ahead and move it out of the way. Bring that there. And just a couple more pieces to deal with on this cylinder. Usually there are going to be these strips around the tops of these cylinders here. So these are pretty easy. Just go to Edge Mode. Just start stitching that together. And should get all of those. And then make sure you don't stitch the end of that to where they reattach together. We don't want that. Okay, and then one more here, I believe. Yep. And then we'll stitch these together. Okay. Stitch that one and that one. There we go. So that's one long strip. Let's figure out where that one was at. Sometimes I'll go ahead and I'll just stitch these together. And it looks like it was that on the inside there? No. Where is that? Let's select those polygons. Let's do that. Okay, I see. It goes all the way around there. Now, this is going to be a problem. We don't want this all to be stitched together because, remember, these are on different smoothing groups. So these two polygons are on a smoothing group. These are on a different smoothing group. So we need to select this edge and just simply right-click and break. Let's go around. Let's select this edge, right-click. We need to right-click in the UV editor and break. Select this one, right-click and break. And then this one, right-click, break. And they were already apart, so I don't know why I did that anyway. So, okay, so there, all of those are now set. Okay, those are all good now. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get all of those separated from one another. For this, that one looks a little funny. That one's got, looks like an extra edge in there. Oh, I see. We didn't take that one out. Right click and break that one. Okay, so now just separate those out. Make sure those stay separated. Okay, so there's that. One edge down here that we've already taken care of it. All of these are good. Okay, so now we've got this cylinder all broken apart. Let's select all of its pieces, and we're just simply going to pack all of that together. So all of these must stay apart like this because they're on different smoothing groups than one another. And so we'll close this down. We've unwrapped that cylinder. We're ready to go. So now we need to move on to our next piece. And I'm going to go ahead and unwrap the crane on that. And then the crane shouldn't take that long. We might even move on to the trigger in the next lesson as well. So we'll get started on that next.